Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. Together with Patrick from the Living Wheel, we have organized this tarot community challenge for April. We call it Formative Decks, and we would love to find out from you guys. So it would be lovely if you joined in through Instagram, through YouTube, through a post, through a video, whatever it's easier for you, and show us what formative decks were important for you in your tarot practice. What we would like to know, or what's under that name formative decks, is really what decks in your tarot practice changed you or changed the way you read or see tarot, or were really, really important. So it's not a talk about your favorite decks right now or ever. It's just decks that were really important. You might not use them anymore, but at some stage in your tarot practice, you know, they were really formative. So I will start with my decks. Okay, I have, of course, a few. I had to laugh because with Patrick we thought, like, you know, formative deck that change your practice. We're like, no, we can't just do deck, right? Because usually especially when you have been involved in tarot, with tarot for a while, for a couple of years at least, there is certain decks that like mark the, you know, moving on to the next stage. So first deck that was truly formative for me in my tarot practice was my ever first deck. Or actually, no, it's not true. I should probably start with my ever first deck, should I? But anyway, since I moved onto the Osho Zen, it was truly formative because it was the first deck that made me realize that tarot system is not, doesn't have to be always traditional, you know. And Osho Zen, I think everybody knows this deck. This is my copy from 2001 or 2 maybe, and I have received this one from my sister, and I was already by then interested in just, you know, meditation, spirituality, and it was just totally right my alley. I love the book, I love the images, I love the kind of subject matter that this deck covered. And I realized by looking at this particular challenge that most of my formative decks, especially the beginning ones, weren't traditional. I never started learning tarot from Rider-Waite-Smith, actually. So this is the first deck. This one is from 1998 or 1997, 1998, let's say. This was the first ever deck that I bought. And this is the Kansa tarot deck. And I don't think this deck is in print anymore, but I remember choosing it based on what I saw on the cards, and I loved that the images had depictions of different religions and different cultures, and being a Sagittarius, that was something that I truly, you know, enjoyed seeing, and I loved that, right? So this was my ever first deck, and I remember reading, you know, this deck that I bought it in Cologne in Germany in 1998 when I was living there as an au pair. But I remember reading the book, learning from this, figuring out, you know, all those strange names from Kabbalistic Tree of Life and so on. So this was definitely one of the first introductions to tarot that was also already so much deeper than just tarot, okay? And then my next kind of stage, I had a bit of a break from the cards, blah, blah, blah. Then I went to Australia, started studying astrology and tarot, and I received my first tarot reading with the Voyager cards. So Voyager and Rider-Waite-Smith probably came into my life at around the same time, because this friend of mine, one of my bestest friends in the world, Pei, she has given me a reading with these two decks, and I remember thinking, wow, you can connect tarot, you can use different decks in the readings. That was definitely like a big step for me. So I have gotten this deck. I think now the Voyager Tarot is smaller. This one is from 2000 something. I can't remember now, but maybe 2009 or something like that. And I remember also thinking that how different this deck is to everything else I've seen and I thought of as tarot. And here maybe a plug-in, by the way, if you love James Wenles, first of all, I have a very cool interview with him on my YouTube channel, Tarot Map YouTube channel. If you go to Inspired Tarot Map playlist, you find the interview with James Wenles, and he's now 78, and oh, he doesn't lack energy, mate. He's so inspiring. He's also organized he has a course that he sells online, and if you would like to study with him, I actually have a deal with him because he loved me and I loved him too. So he said that he's going to give me an affiliate link, and if you use if you buy this course through my link, you will get $100 off the regular price. So I'm going to link that affiliate link below. It's not clickable because it's Instagram, so you have to copy and paste it. But if you want to, you know, see this online Voyager Reader Tarot course, you can do it and, you know, benefit yourself, getting $100 off, benefit me, because I get also some money from it, and benefit James and support him and his work. So this was definitely one of the most formative decks back then for me. And then my first Rider-Waite-Smith was this edition. I think it is, what is it? It's not Centennial, it's the other one, Original Rider-Waite-Smith or something like this. It has this vintagey coloring, right? I just chopped off the you know, the borders, and this was the deck I studied my first tarot course with as well. And then moving on with my journey with tarot, we hit like 2015, maybe 2016, 2015, I think. And I meet through online, you know, in virtual world, I meet Enrique Enriquez, and that just like blows off my tarot world. So then Tarot de Marseille comes into my life, and this is one of my favorite decks. This is Jeanne Dodell, on Tarot de Marseille from 1701, and I love this deck because of the eyes. So this deck has totally changed how I read tarot. In general, learning Tarot de Marseille has totally changed how I learn tarot, how I read tarot, how I study tarot, how I see the cards, how I started connecting the cards in the reading. And I have Tarot de Marseille class on my website. It's $44. You can purchase it right now. It's just 2 hours of like beginners techniques that you can use with Tarot de Marseille. I'm thinking of doing maybe something more advanced with it, but I also use Tarot de Marseille in my intuitive tarot workshop. I just finished the live version of it, and probably I'm going to offer another live version in a couple of months again. But it's great, and I hope that people in the course enjoyed how you and appreciated how Tarot de Marseille is just so amazingly coherent throughout the whole deck. So reading Tarot de Marseille, learning how to read these traditional decks, that totally changed my life. So it was like a huge step in my tarot journey. I couldn't move forward without mentioning Toff deck. I also, studied Toff here in Poland with Krzysztof Azarewicz, which is a very, very prominent figure here in my country, and the way he explains Toff, and yeah, it was fascinating. So Toff as a formative deck was important because it adds astrology to it. It adds, so much of this Kabbalistic and Hermetic thought. So it was interesting for me to just mix it in. And you know that I'm an astrologer, so I love using astrology in and tarot together. I'm not particularly maybe using astrology connected to tarot like this. I like astrology by itself and then adding tarot reading on top. But this is something definitely that is fascinating to me, and that has opened up another avenue in my head for tarot. So Toff deck, all the classics, Rider-Waite-Smith, Marseille and Toff, they were formative in all these ways. The deck that also kind of really knocked me over, especially through the book, and I just love this deck. This is the Dark Goddess Tarot by Lorenz Prince. It is mass produced right now. I have that, you know, that old indie version, but it is incredible by Lorenz Prince, and it's a collection of different goddesses from different cultures, and just the book to this deck is amazing. I love it. I still use it. I've learned so much from this card, so it showed me in some way that like you can also use tarot to learn about other cultures, to use tarot to inspire yourself, you know, for deep spiritual work. And that was followed by really the Margaret Peterson Tarot. But this book, it's just like, I loved it so much. So if you use tarot for your, I colored the edges here, if you use tarot for spiritual work, for contemplation, this deck also kind of shifted the gears. And I think it was the, in a way, introductory deck for me to be drawn to more abstract decks and more abstract art in decks. And when I started stretching my intuition into different levels of reading, and I found it really like fascinating. The next deck that came, and actually I showed two, but the Story Medicine decks from Jessica Zinchuk. We have two for now. Jessica's planning to make 4 decks. This made me really think of stories and tarot and all these different amazing myths and mythology and archetypal level and feminine, sacred feminine. So that was really something also that I totally enjoyed, and as a woman, it made me really appreciate the body and sacred pause and stop. It's just fascinating. So I love these decks, and they were also very important decks in my journey. And then 2 that are left, I think they will never leave me. So the first one is the Oracle of Initiation by Melissa Lucia. So it's not a tarot deck, it's an oracle deck, but I just love this deck so much. This was definitely something that has changed the way I look at oracles. I look at creativity, I look at play. Melissa is just an amazing teacher of creative ways, and she's so artistic and such a big heart, and just what she did with this deck is just so inspiring for me. You know, the way she used her own body, ritualistic painting, ritual in general, photography, it's just incredible. The book she wrote for this deck is amazing. This is something that totally like changed me. And then one of the most important decks of my recent change, also like Patrick's, the Mysteries of Mary tarot deck by Hetty Grobler. This, as if you watched my, or followed me for a while, you know how much this deck shifted the way I not only read tarot, but I do my life and where I am right now. So here, of course, the biggest thanks to Hetien, who also became a friend as well, and an amazing teacher for creating this deck and for creating the Black Madonna Tarot, which is coming soon. And I'm just incredibly grateful for, in some way, this deck opened me up to the Divine Mother, to work with Divine Feminine, but in a very practical way. And I'm still, learning with this deck. This deck is just so rich. You can never get over it or enough with it or bored with it. It has so many stories, myths, symbols. And me, coming from Catholic culture, of course, in some way it brought me closer to my culture without truly, I was kind of cut off from the church. I was upset. I was kind of angry, really. And it helped me sort out this anger feelings and frustration, and kind of put it into peace and love. And, I still have my issues with that, but through the Great Mother, through Divine Mother, through Mary, I can really, I feel alignment within myself about these issues. So that's it. These are my formative decks. I would love to hear what formative decks are important for you. So please share, tag me and Patrick, and use the hashtag formative decks so we can find you. And I will speak to you soon. Let me know what you thought. Bye.